Welcome to Beyond Office Walls, a podcast where we explore the exciting world of remote work and its impact on our lives, careers, and the future of work. I'm your host, Dr. hELO, and in each episode, we'll dive deep into the remote work revolution, bringing you insightful conversations with experts, remote work success stories, and practical tips to help you thrive in this new era of work. Whether you're a seasoned remote worker, just starting your remote work journey, or an employer navigating the future of work, this podcast is your go to source for all things remote work. So grab your headphones, find your favorite remote work spot, grab your coffee, and let's embark on this exciting journey together. Welcome to Beyond Office Walls. In today's podcast, we have a very special guest, Richard Sarkissian, and he will be discussing with us the topic overcoming remote isolation, strategies for maintaining mental health and connection.
Hey, Dr. Hilo, how are you? Thanks for having
I'm
me on
good,
your
man.
show.
I'm good. Just, here doing the podcast, doing a thousand things at the same time. Not gonna lie, it's been a very long day. But before we go into the full show, we want to know which questions we have for Richard, of course. The first one will be, as we all know, who is Richard Sarkissian? The other one is, what are effective strategies for maintaining mental health while working remotely? We have, how can remote workers foster a sense of connection and community despite physical distance? Can specific mindfulness or self care practices help individuals combat the challenges of remote isolation? And how can organizations support their remote employees' mental health? And a lot more. All right. So, what's going on, my friend? How's your day, by the way? First of all,
Well, like every day, it's super dynamic. It changes every single day.
that's a pretty
You know
way.
the yeah the internet never sleeps, right? So it keeps everybody on their toes and keeps you busy because it's always a different day the next day, and there's challenges every day that you have to overcome, which makes it interesting because it's dynamic, right? It's never the same thing every single day, which I like because if it's this repetitious thing every day, it gets kind of boring.
It does. It
So,
does.
yeah.
So, Richard, we're gonna jump in. Who is Richard Sarkissian? Right? And am I saying it correctly?
Yes, perfectly. Well, I'm Richard Sarkissian. I've been in the, I guess, in the computer industry slash cyber side since the boom around 1993. It was when I started uh, working on the networking side and putting in systems. And everyone learns somewhere, right? So I learned from there. I've grown into a field where I protect companies basically from cyber attacks, and also making sure people don't accidentally click on phishing emails or anything that will interfere with the company's business. So we launch campaigns just to see how many people actually click on those emails. It's we'll get into that later, but it's fairly interesting how many people don't actually read what they're getting in the email. So I've been all over the world traveling. I've been in places where I never would have imagined, and I've been to several different companies, uh, remotely and on site. Preferably, it was on site a lot ever since I guess COVID. I guess COVID changed a lot of things, especially adapting to the remote side of everything. Because for me, I feel it's important to have some of that interaction, contact with people, because you can actually see and feel, the room atmosphere versus, doing it through the camera. But we all got used to it. We all adapted, and that's and listening to audio and video, looking at video. It just seemed like it wasn't enough uh, with the camera that came with your computer. It just, if you're on it every single day, it just made it horrible. But anyway, yeah. So I'm in currently cybersecurity for a big entertainment company, and my job is to making sure that the company is secure, stable, fix the attacks that come every single day, and also do integrations and migrations to different organizations within our company.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty amazing. I do have also master's degrees in network and cybersecurity, but I really never used it outside of the military, which is one of the topics that I really love. But what's interesting about you, Richard, is that you've been since 1995, was it? That you've
Three,
been
1993.
1993, you've been
Yeah.
in remote work and way before you didn't even have a name, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, yeah, it was a different thing for me because, I always before going to an office every single day, do my time, in depending on the shift, and it's a repetitious thing every single day, and, the opportunity came for me to venture out of what I was doing. I was in customer service. I was in service technician for a cable company. So I was always into electronics and stuff. And then the cable modem boom when it first started in like '94, I guess, in the '90s. Where you have bidirectional, which you had to dial in through your telephone line and download to the cable modem. So the company I was working for asked if I want to be part of this integration with some of our beta customers. So I said sure. And ever since then, I've been enjoying that part of the industry. So I just kept growing and growing and getting a position where I could learn administration work, network engineer, setting up email servers, and so I was lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time, and then grow from there. And it felt weird. The office requirement for me was having an airport nearby. That was the prerequisite is having an airport nearby to where I can take off from and come back.
That
So I
that
could
that
basically be
ain't that
anywhere.
bad, man. That ain't that bad. That you have an airport and just take the road whenever you can. Heck yeah, that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, and I got to manage my own schedule. So if I decided to be on site for 2 customers a week, I would do that. Get everything lined up.
That's pretty cool.
Take off on a plane and go.
That's amazing, man. So let's jump into the questions now that we know who is Richard, obviously, right? Network engineer. He's been working in the remote industry since it didn't have a name, which is pretty amazing. So let's jump to the first question, which is what are effective strategies for maintaining mental health while working remotely? And how can individuals overcome feelings of isolation?
Well, primarily for me, it's the environment you're in. I see lots of people doing their work, from a couch or from a chair and watching TV, and that sort of doesn't keep your focus because you're in that same environment that you're in every single day. And I feel that being in a separate place where you can have your own office helps with your mental ability, where you're not hearing traffic coming by or kids or disturbances that could interfere with your concentration. So for me, my mental abilities is to have a separate space where I'm not interrupted. I have a comfortable chair and the equipment that I need, and do my work without being interrupted or just feeling lazy and just not being able to concentrate because you can lose focus really easy if you're not in the right environment. It just keeps your stability, straight, so you're not interrupted or even on camera. When people see, that you're sitting on a couch, for me, it just feels like you're not in the right environment. Especially depending on, of course, what you're doing, but for your mental being, it's nice to have a separate location where it's different than what you're used to every single day. Because at the end of the day, you can just turn off the computer and just be done with it.
That's the same thing I do here. I work remotely. I telework. I go to the office 2 times a week, mostly. And well, not now with this damn weather going around, but basically, I have on my right side, I have my work desk. Here, I got my podcast set up for content creation and everything else. But this
Mhm.
is a separate room, completely separate room. Once I turn this off, I get out of here and go have fun with my family, watch TV, go to my room, go to my kid's room where he just got a new setup, which is really amazing.
Nice.
He's freaking 9. But, this is where we're going to, right? And the thing that I do so I don't feel isolated from other than going to the office, 2 times a week. I do morning calls, my coworkers with my friends from work. I usually do like a video call at least once a day so I can actually have a conversation about what's going on in the office in a one-on-one environment. Sometimes I go out and eat. I don't stay here all the time because if I stay here and cook here, it will be really good for my economy. But at the same time, I'll go crazy. It will feel like I'm the COVID times as well. So that's what I usually practice. And I love being here. I'm not going to lie. I
Yeah.
love working from home. But at the same time, for my sanity, I sometimes need to go out and do something else.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, same, interjecting with your coworkers. Like for me, you know, I'm the senior person in our group, so I like to talk to my colleagues, and go over every single day. Well, in the morning, what do we have on our plate? What we're going to concentrate on? What are some of the priorities? Have that engagement repetitiously every day. Monday through Friday, and being able to interact with your team because everybody's there to have the same goal is to succeed, ensuring that our assignments are good, are done, and that we take our work assignments and make sure that we architect. And if someone's having a problem, that interaction with other people helps yourself because you're not feeling like you're by yourself. Every single day. With projects because everybody has their own skill set. So in the mornings, like you said, we have a call uh, pretty much every day at in the morning, typically around 8 o'clock Eastern time. And that mentality to be able to stay focused and to talk to your colleagues is really helpful because it makes you not feel like you're just yourself, in your office every single day. So that helps a lot for being able to stay focused with other people and being able to actually learn other things too, because everybody does a lot of different things every single day.
That's totally true. All right. So, from that topic, how can remote workers foster a sense of connection and community despite physical distance, right? And what role do virtual communication tools play in this process?
So some of the tools that we primarily use is Microsoft Teams for our environment, and we communicate with different groups in teams where you have chatting group, you have a troubleshooting group, a production issue group, and everybody interacts with each other. And if there's a problem, we can chat, and everybody jumps in and assists. If there's a problem or if there's something going on, we make it known, and other people can join in, so you're not feeling again isolated and by yourself. Because if you do have a major problem happening, your adrenaline goes up, and you feel like you're solving everything by yourself. But you got to remember that you have a team behind you, so collaboration is a key important fact, is to maintain your focus as well, with your coworkers.
Yeah, I use Microsoft Teams as well every single day, multiple times a day. And I like to mix things up a little bit whenever I'm in the office. I like to actually do hybrid calls. So people from usually my projects are in Texas and in Louisiana. Oftentimes that's where my projects are. And I like to do hybrid. And even if we're co located in the office and we're all separated for some reason, and I actually like to just get and use the tools that my work has provided, which has been really amazing in the conference rooms because they have everything you can think of,
Mhm.
the big cameras, the 3D cameras, the mega microphones that you can separate for different persons, like the octopus or whatever,
Yeah.
and everything. I just like to use it. I like to use it. I like to integrate with it. I like when people are home and they can see the whole conference. Obviously, we always use Microsoft Teams in our work, and that's the environment we use. But I also like using SharePoint a lot to
Yes.
collaborate with different coworkers, whether I'm working with legal, environmental, or finance. We can go into a document, jump in there, and do. different things together while we're on a call at the same time. So tools enhance the physical distance
Yeah.
in a big way.
Yeah, like SharePoint too. Same, we use that as well, which allows everybody to collaborate at the same time. So you have the same document. You don't have like in olden days where you track changes and pass it around and approve and disapprove, whatever. But SharePoint is a key tool to be able to share your documents or presentations or spreadsheets where everyone can collaborate, and then you have one, one master copy that is shared. So SharePoint is one of the key tools that I feel it's excellent to have in an environment, uh, instead of just being able to take that document, edit it, send it along, and then you have that tracking feature where you look at all the edits. It's too many things in there, and it was cool at the time, but SharePoint actually changed the game because you can share live, you can see the edits happening.
Remember those email chains where the
Hmm.
got so long you just lost track of things? Documents got lost on the way. You know what? Hmm, SharePoint
It's
and
grown.
other tools that are, the same for if they're for Google or whatever, it doesn't matter which company as long as they
Yeah,
work, right? But the one that I do use, it's SharePoint because it's part of the Microsoft system and that's what the federal government uses. But it works
yeah,
really
and
well.
it integrates well with the new. I'm not sure if you're using the new Teams. It
Yeah,
integrates well with it. It's right there on your program where you can just click on it. Boom, it opens it up, and
absolutely.
it makes it a lot easier. Microsoft Teams too. It's really improved from the original
Oh,
version. It's more seamless and it works really well and less CPU intensive, I find.
I know, right? So, can specific mindfulness or self care practices help individuals combat the challenges of remote isolation and promote overall well being? Can you give me some examples of what you do?
It's very easy to lose focus on time, right? When we're working and your nose down, and you can be there all day long and notice like, oh wow, I've been here for 5 hours. I didn't even take a break or get up or just reset. So some of the tools that I find help with that is, for me, I have the Apple Watch, which reminds me every once in a while, hey, take a breath, stand up, walk around a little bit, and get your mind off of what you're doing, because it's important to reset if you several times a day, just a little break, because that's the main thing from a mentality point of view. Is if you're stuck working all day long, you just get burned out, right? You need to take a break, stand up, and just get a glass of water, or just, if you're stuck on a problem, it's good to just hit pause, get up, walk around, have a drink of water, or a soda or something, and then you sit back down, and hey, it came right back. It's like, cool, all right, that was easy. So it's important, to remind yourself to just get away for a little bit.
Yeah, the one thing that I usually like is the Pomodoro. I have a little thing around that I use for the Pomodoro strategy, whatever.
Hmm.
I put 30 minutes. In this 30 minutes, I'm gonna do everything that I need to do. Then in the next 15 minutes, I'll take a break. And
Hmm.
that's how I usually like to do it. Now, there's sometimes where I'm in the zone. And when I'm in the zone and I want to finish stuff, I put myself for 2 hours or 2 hours, but I do put myself for 2 hours so I can actually accomplish and take a break. Because if not, I'll get a headache. I'll forget to eat. Uh,
Hmm.
there's so
Yeah.
many things, and you lose, like you said, you lose track of time, and you end up being worse than whenever you woke up. So,
Yeah, and
like,
then your head starts hurting, and you're
yeah.
like just super tired, right? If you don't just take 2-3 minutes of, every couple hours, and just reset, because you can very easily sit in your chair all day long.
Oh,
I've done that many times, and
so
it
easy to do.
just burns you out.
Absolutely, man. But yeah, I do. I go for walks. I bought like a treadmill.
Yeah,
So
actually,
it's
I see a lot of people now have a treadmill that's meant to go onto your desk. So I got a
exactly
few people, yeah, and you just sit there and walk and type,
yeah.
right?
Have a desk that raises up. and I just start walking, and in the meetings, it's really interactive, and people get used to it because they hear me.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like I am huffing and puffing, chewing, chewing, chewing. But
Yeah.
the one that I bought, it's a little bit quieter than the usual one.
Yeah.
So now they got over it. They're like, yeah, they know I'm walking. So it's very cool.
Yeah, that's a good way. There's a few people that I've seen have that. When you're on a conference call for like 2 hours,
What?
it's nice to get start walking, right? Do something. Any activity helps
I'd rather do it
yourself.
outside,
Well,
but
yeah,
it's 20 degrees.
of-
So hell no,
yeah,
I will stay here.
yeah, much warmer.
I know, right? So this is the last question that I have, but this one's a really, really important one. So, how can organizations support their remote employees' mental health? And what
Hmm.
initiatives or policies contribute to a healthier work life balance in a remote setting?
So I'm glad you brought that up because where I work, once a week we have a game night for the employees. So somebody can volunteer and have a game night right after work. I think around 3 or 4 o'clock is where you join in, and play a game, with several hundred people that are joining in. And for me, that's it feels good to interact and have some fun, with your coworkers, and some of them you never seen before, and being able to have a different game every week. It makes it fun because people got some great ideas to be able to interact and interject with people and just have some fun, because it's not fun being serious every single day, right? You gotta relax and enjoy the environment, enjoy your coworkers, get to learn who they are, and just have some fun, right? Because you don't
Yeah,
get to have fun, you become just like a robot, right? You work, you're done, sleep, eat, repeat, right? But having the ability to interject and have some fun with your coworkers, uh, it helps a lot. And especially sometimes I have a thing where uh, you can have lunch. They'll let you like order some lunch, and expense it out, and being able to talk and have your lunch with people, interact, what's going on, just have a free talk, with everybody, and enjoy some food, right?
yeah,
That's really good. I
that's
like that
pretty cool,
idea.
man. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. We have a gym in our office, obviously, but that's programs that you need to be there to take advantage of. But we also have activities. Jeopardy. For some reason, the federal government loves Jeopardy. It's work related with the training that we're getting or whatever. It's all related, and we do
Yeah.
that sometimes as well. And for the holidays, we usually do something too. That at least, even if it's online or remote or in person, it's better if it's in person. But if it's remote, we'll do something as well. So, yeah, that's pretty cool actually, and it's really important for organizations to try and do something to maintain the mental health of their employees, specifically if they're remote. Like for example, during COVID, uh, I saw a lot of people that just couldn't couldn't stand it, couldn't
Yeah.
stand being home all the time. They started fighting more with their families, with their wives, with their husbands. Got kind of chaotic for a lot of people around the world. I don't have that problem, obviously. For me, it's really beneficial to be here, but I work with myself. I give myself time to go walk, to go read, to go for a coffee. I make an excuse to get up and walk around the condo, whatever I am.
Yeah.
Walk and walk and walk, and that's helped me a lot. And actually taking calls from family members, taking 5 minutes to just talk about things that you never talk during the workday. Like for example, calling my mom and just,
Yeah.
hey, how you doing? What's going on at home? So it takes your mind off of work for 5 minutes. You just got to remember to have the discipline to come back and start working and not do it all day. That's basically what.
Yeah. When you said about people, there's a lot of people didn't enjoy working, from home. There's quite a few that I've noticed that they enjoy the separation, going to work and coming back. and enjoying some coffee with coworkers because you didn't have that with with that pandemic that happened. But and I find that that helped as well, keep being able to get out every once in a while and not stay in one place all the time. But there are several people that really didn't like working at home. Interestingly enough, for me, I've been working remote, for a long time, so I'm not used to the office environment. But people who are used to going every single day to the office, uh, they just felt like, hey, this is enough. Year and a half, I need to get out because, like you said, there's a separation that helps, with your family because you're all day long at the same place, right? So that helps being able to go to work and come back, or then you can interject with your family. But if you're there all day long, you don't have that separation. So I don't know. There's a mixed feeling between going to work all the time and remote work.
It's a matter of balance and
Yeah.
discipline. And I know that a lot of people that actually like to go to the office is because they like the interaction with people. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who did not have the discipline, and that's
Yeah.
why they hate it because when they were home and they didn't have that separation at home. Like for me, when I'm at work and I close this door is closed. I can
Hmm.
get a text from my wife if she needs something, if there's anything that needs my attention that's vital. But otherwise, I'm working. You need to explain to your significant other or the person who you're sharing your life with that this is your work time. You're
Yeah.
not just lollygagging or reading a book or playing Tetris. I just told everybody my age. So so basically, it's a discipline thing, and you can explain that to your loved one. And if you're really good about it, it's not explaining it and then doing whatever the hell you want. It's
Yeah.
yourself maintaining the discipline to do it you, so they whenever they see you that you're actually serious about what you're doing, hey, they'll take you serious as well. So I think it's
That's
a
right.
balance, and it's something that we had to learn really fast during the pandemic. It was horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Really fast. Yeah. It's just that whole perspective, what happened, changed the environment a whole lot of different ways. A lot of different ways.
It was crazy, man. And with no guidance. I think the most confusing was there was no guidance. I know of people, not from the federal government, from the private sector, that didn't turn their computers for 7 months until they were told to.
Wow.
They did their work, but they didn't, they did the work whatever the hell they wanted. They just didn't turn their computers or their Teams or their Zoom, nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. They just were. Yeah. You don't know. That's
No
right.
guidance.
Yeah.
All right, Richard. So thank you so much, man, for being here. Do you have any final thoughts or anything you would like to say our viewers or our listeners about remote work?
Yeah. Just remember the key thing is take a break. Whether you have to set an alarm or a timer or even use your watch, it's important to take a break. Stand up, walk around, go even outside if you can. Anything but sitting in front of your workspace all day long. It's, it helps so much by being able to just take a break, because you can get involved and sit there all day long, and at the end of the day, you're just wiped and you're tired. That affects your mood, your mentality, a whole bunch of different things. So it's important to take a break, walk around, even if it's 3 times a day, it helps.
It does help. All right, my friend. Well, thank you very much. Go here, what it says podcast. I always confuse it. Let me see. This barcode right here. If you open your cell phone and put it on camera, this will open up the podcast where it's at. Whether it's a Spotify, whether it's on YouTube, Apple, your favorite podcast place or whatever listener or viewer. So this has been Beyond Office Walls, navigating the remote work environment or work revolution. And thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you on the next one. This is Dr. Elo out.